All right. Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haran Eli Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bachakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwaf that's listening in. Yahweh Rat is our Lord, willing that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab and Muam back at you with another lesson. I'm going into this title, right? Bro, what the fuck? All right. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shak will literally bug you out. All right. And it's going to be a quick lesson. Lord willing is edifying and straight to the point. And Lord willing, it brings fear upon our people. All right. Because, man, to see this shit that I'm about to show you, it just, I don't even understand it. But hey, that just goes to show that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai can do things to you to just literally bug you out. As a matter of fact, let me grab this. This is Romans 1. One second. This is Romans 1 and 20. 28. It says, and even as they did not like to retain Yahweh in their knowledge, Yahweh gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. All right. Let's read that in the NLT. Since they thought it foolish to acknowledge Yahweh, he abandoned them to their foolish thinking and let them do things that should never be done. Okay. So I'm about to show you I'm going to show you two videos completely bugged out. All right. And that's exactly what you're going to see in this video. You're going to see people doing things that are not convenient. That it's just like, what the hell? Like, where the hell did that come from? What in your right mind made you do that? Okay. Let me just get straight to the point. Like I said, it's going to be a very short video because there ain't really much to say on it. I can't be sitting here bringing out scriptures all day on something like this, but I do got one or two, three in mind. All right. This is, let me grab one more precept I got in my mind, actually. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 28 and 28. It says, the Lord Yahweh shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of the heart. All right. So this is one of the curses that come upon our people. All right. As it tells you in the 15th chapter. Right. But if thou shalt come to pass, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. All right. So one of the curses is the 28th chapter. The Lord Yahweh shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of the heart. And when you go into madness in the linear, all right, madness literally means to be crazy. All right. Yeah. Strong's definition tells you craziness. All right. Let me see what it says in another, to show madness. Okay. To rave through insanity. You see? So the Lord can literally put you through an insane time, man. All right. When you go into the Jacenius Hebrew lexicon, it says one wrought on by a divine fury in a bad sense, a fanatic. And as a matter of fact, now that they're using the word fanatic, that's heavy, because what this girl does is like she's a fanatic to what she's doing. All right. A fanatic is like to be a fan to something, to, you know, let me see. I wonder if it's got anything to do with worshiping. Definition of fanatic: a person filled with excessive and single-minded zeal. Yeah, you see, it's almost like to worship something, especially for an extreme religious or political cause. All right. to mean to be zealot. All right, die hard. Okay, a maniac, freak. Oh man, these are good words that I'm about to show you right now to these people. All right, a wackadoodle. That's crazy. A wackadoodle. Wackadoodle ass. All right, but check this out. Let me just get to these damn videos. All right, so what you're about to see, I'll show you this first one. The second one is the one that's crazy as hell, but this first one is bugged out too. So this woman right here, she says, "I will never be this." Oh no, the brother had put it like, I guess the person who posted the video put, "I will never be this hungry, bro. We only post gross foods." Okay, so this lady, check this out. And I'm hoping this shit is fucking AI, man. I don't know if y'all can see it as good as I see it, but it's a woman that's just straight eating on condoms, used condoms. Condoms that are just filled with, ugh, ugh. That shit is fucking straight bugged out. Okay? Like, imagining, like, you gotta imagine that, man. How bugged out you gotta be sitting there eating on condoms that are used and filled from the garbage, and she's just eating on them like it's nothing, like it's part of her nature. She blows them up and then she just starts chomping on the fucking rubber, man. Okay, that's great. And the brother put, "This is truly the future of America when the famine hits." Yeah, you might see, excuse me, you might see something like that. In these last days, you might see some bugged out shit like that where people, starving of famine. And remember, like I've done videos in the past on famine. When you starve and when dehydration really hits more than anything, your body's gonna go into a hallucinated state. You're gonna start hallucinating. So imagine, this person hallucinating, they haven't ate in a fucking week, 3 days, whatever, and they looking at condoms like that shit is spaghetti, man. And they just start eating that. That is bugged, yo. Okay? And this is why you have to fear YAHAWAH'S, because it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. You see? When you don't do the will of the Lord, especially, you don't know what you have done in your past life, man. You don't know, what you've done, period. Even on this life, when you think that, people think that they're not sinners, but they've been sinning all their life. Because remember, those that are accustomed to do evil, they're gonna always fall into that lot of evil. So they just keep doing sin upon sin, and the Lord could literally bug you out for that, man. You see? Now let's grab this other video. This one's bugged out too. Where's it at? Hold on. 1 second. I know I gotta find it. I thought I already set it up, but apparently I didn't. 1 second. I got it though. This woman was caught up with.
Check my lights, and they're not bent, broken, or cracked. My name is Tiara. I live in Katy, Texas.
And this shit is real, because this shit is straight off the TLC channel. So it's real. With the TLC channel, don't come out with no false. This is called My Strange Addiction on TLC. And I can only imagine. I didn't even know they had a show like that. So I'm about to see if I can find TLC through the apps and see if I can find this show, Strange Addictions, because there's probably so many crazy ass addictions on there. All right, but this is a whole Judite woman. All right, she a truck driver, and this is her strange addiction. Check it.
I'm a truck driver. I've been driving for 8 years. The smell drew me into it, and it feels really, really good. And when I'm stitching it, it's amazing. I even got my nails to match the cleaning powder. It's my favorite color.
So her ass like Ajax. That look like an Ajax cleaning powder. And the fact that she's still alive is what bedazzles my ass right now. Like, it's got me stunned. Like, how the hell she ain't dead yet? Because when you doing shit like that, man, that's just like out of this world. But I guess it will make sense because the drugs today is no different. You know, the drugs today are mixed with so many different chemicals. They're actually mixed with chemicals like this. You know, people cut them with chemicals like that. So I guess it makes sense of why it's not, you know, it's not killing her. It's just like if she's just strung out on a regular ass drug of cocaine or meth or whatever you want to call it. Okay. But it's straight bugged out that this woman, she says, I love the smell of it, whatever that cleaning product is. There's a green cleaning product. And she's actually, you know, sitting there sniffing it as a daily routine into her life. You see? If that's not bugged out, I don't know what is, man.
This is lemon scented, and I love lemon.
Play that one more time. It says on the bottom, hold on. It says, my sinuses were the cleanest in the trucking industry. So,
check my lights, and they're not bent, broken, or cracked. My name is Sierra. I live in Katy, Texas. I'm a truck driver. I've been driving for 8 years. Now I'm addicted to snorting cleaning powder.
yeah, that's bugged, yo. That's bugged. The smell drew her into it. Yeah, that's that. See, our people need healing, man. Our people, this is why death got to come by, you know, death and pain gonna come together, man, because our people are sick in the head. All right, as the scriptures tell you, let me grab that real quick. This is Isaiah 1 and all right, this is Isaiah 1 and Salakia. Isaiah 1 and 4, and it says, I mean 5, it says, why should you be stricken anymore? You will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick. You see, our people sick in the head, man. All right. As a matter of fact, let me go into that word sick. All right, in the linear, which it says sickness, you know, diseased, grief. All right, anxiety, sickness. In pause, in the Jasenius Hebrew lexicon, it says in pause, disease, affliction, and evil. You know, that shit evil, man. That means you got a legion of demons upon you, man. A legion of demons. A legion means 1,000 demons. So she got 1,000 demons for her to do some shit like that, man. All right. And that just comes from you accumulating sin upon sin. Okay. A calamity. All right. Let me see what it says into breaking it down. To be or become weak, be or become sick, be or become diseased, be or become grieved, be or become sorry. All right. But yeah, see, she has become weak through the demons that she has, man. All right. She doesn't have a strong mind. So she has become weak in her mindset to the point where she out there sniffing some shit like that, man. And she's just content with her life. You see, that's bugged out. It says to become ill. Okay. To make one sick, to be made sick. All right. It says to show signs of sickness. Man, we could be here for forever. To be rubbed or worn. To be weak, sick, afflicted. Man. Yeah, that shit. Woman in travail. Yeah, that shit is bugged out, man. I can't even say anything else on it. You know, our whole people is sick in the head. See, and that's why the Lord sent His prophets to heal our people that are so bugged out. That just goes to show how the Lord brought us from being the greatest people alive on earth, right? His royal priesthood, his royal, generation, his chosen peculiar treasure, and has brought them so low. I mean, so low that they doing shit like that. That's why we're entertainment onto the world, man. That's why we're a laughing stock onto the nations. Okay, that's why these people take advantage of us, because the Lord has brought us so low from being, princesses and gods and kings. That now we just look like we look like Esau. That's the shit that Esau should be doing right now. That's the state that Esau should be in. Out there sniffing some Ajax and shit like that. But instead, you got our people, and they're making a thrill out of it by making a whole show on it, putting you as a laughing stock. You know how many people watch that show and they just sit there and they just nod their head, man? The nations are sitting there saying, damn, these are supposed to be the Lord's people, and look what they're doing. But the time is coming that the Lord's going to lift us up from that dust, from that confusion, all right? And He's going to set us upon the world, all right? Let's grab that real quick, and I'll end it on that. This is 1 Samuel 2:8. He raised up the poor out of the dust and lifted up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord YAHAWAH'S, and He has set the world upon them. You see, He will keep the feet of His saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness, for by strength shall no man prevail. You see, so the time is going to come that the Lord going to bring us from the bottom, and He going to raise us back up to what we used to be, But in order for us to go through that, we have to go through the hardships, the trials, the tribulations, through much tribulation shall you enter into the kingdom. All right. And some of us, 2/3 of our people going to have to be put to death. They're going to have to learn by death and pain. And they have to come out through the loins of the elect, because they're children born in vain. They're just so bugged out, with wickedness, and there's just like no hope for them, And that goes to show you, man, there's no hope for people like that. Sniffing fucking Ajax, eating condoms and shit. Like, man, that's another world, So the time is almost here where the Lord is about to take us out of our misery, and He's going to, set us up on high. And we're going to go back to being that peculiar treasure, that royal priesthood. So I'm going to leave it there through the Spirit. Lord willing, you were edified. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi, Call Haloim La Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem, Wachakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwaf that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing, that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom. Keep fighting the good fight of faith and doing as good soldiers of Yahweh Shai. Shalom.